Well, I'm going to start recording here. I'm on Twitch, and I'm simultaneously recording on my iPhone for the YouTube audience for later, because A, I don't know if the Twitch stream will survive, and it's been frustrating the 3 or 4 times it hasn't, and B, I don't know, the whole Twitch thing can just drop on you at an instant, and it's all gone. So also I wanted to make this available in better format quality for YouTubers. So double duty, pretty crazy. If you're on my Instagram, you know that people have been checking out my 3-God emblem that was conceived by Trill Establishment out of the Bay, and Sav's brand also promoted it heavily. I think they got one cap to Drake, so I've been getting a lot of looks because it's a play on the 6-God emblem or logo, and I think Drake knows about it. I think he has one of these caps actually, so should be cool. Nice background here, giving you the arena as they set up for all the festivities, the intros and whatnot. But I am here on Twitch and YouTube for you to report from morning shoot-around. All right, walked in, Klay was shooting around, wanted to make sure that I got Klay shooting around, and then noticed that he had a haircut, new trim. Let us know what you think in the comments of Klay's new do. Be sure to check it out on YouTube, youtube.com/LetsGoWarriors/videos for the latest. I just tweeted out the whole list of videos that I did. I do this every single time. I'm like a freaking robot doing that, and that's why this hit is coming so late. All right, so the first thing that Steve Kerr talked about was that Boogie is active for game 1. Guess what? I guess right on that. Just because Boogie was doing 2-on-2, then 3-on-3, then 4-on-4, then 5-on-5. I mean, it was just the next domino was to be active for game 1. Now, will he start? Yeah, go ahead, no problem. Will he start? I'm going to guess he does, because, Kerr yesterday said that it's hard to throw Boogie into a situation like this. It's not the regular season, it's the NBA playoffs. I mean, it's the NBA finals at that. And I just think that there's no other real matchup for Boogie to take the least risk, and the least risk is the slowest guy on the Raptors, and the slowest guy on the Raptors is Marc Gasol, and he starts. So kind of no choice. But don't be surprised if Damion Jones starts in his place. I talked about this earlier. I don't know if it was one of those doomed Twitch live streams, which again, I'm using my Android for it. Can you believe that? An app that actually works better on the Android. First one, like in the history of apps. I want to, if somebody knows anybody at Twitch, can you just let them know that their iPhone app is just trash, and they need to make it as good as the Android version for some strange reason. So let me go backtrack and say that I did say at one point that I thought Boogie would start, but even if he doesn't, it's all Mike Brown's rotation spreadsheet, so you could easily plug in DJ or Boogie at the same position, and really it doesn't affect the rotations very much. There's not a whole lot of aftershock on that. Okay, so it's kind of not that big of a deal, although it is newsworthy if Boogie were to start. I think he'll start, and I think it'll be interesting to have that little bit of extra pop. Well, you know what? I take that back. Sorry. It's 50-50. Flip a coin, man. I don't know. Either DJ or Boogie will start in order to guard Gasol on defense. And on offense, I mean, you can make the case for either one. in terms of like the other 4 guys have been playing so well, don't mess with them too much. And if you have Boogie out there, then you kind of screw with that, and you kind of have to go down low, blah, blah, blah. So it's 50-50. All right. Steve also talked about KD. It just feels bad that KD can't play, but it is great that he's out here even though he can't play. And then really the rest of I couldn't hear any of it. I had to listen to it later. But again, not to be cliche, but nothing to write home about. He just would not reveal the workload that he expects Boogie to have, although he does know already what to expect from Boogie, or how many minutes he'll give Boogie. It won't be a lot, so it'll still be matchup based on Gasol, I think. All right. Aside from Klay's haircut, we went on to film Andre at the other end of the court. Steph Curry. Steph, man, he missed a lot of walkaway shots. Kind of odd. So usually there's no correlation. You can make one up if you want to. If like he shoots badly tonight, you could go back to morning shoot around, but it's not. There's no correlation in reality. Just ask any basketball player. It's meaningless, but I thought I would just bring it up that I haven't seen him miss like 3, maybe it was 4, at least 3 walkaway shots in a row like that. Him being the greatest shooter on the planet ever. So what was cool was after that, he sat down, looked at his phone, laughed a little bit at something that he saw on his phone. Maybe one of you tagged him in some funny Instagram story. I don't know. He showed Draymond. Draymond had a laugh. And then Steve Kerr came over and they had a little chat. And I have that on video. You can see the 3 of them. And it makes you wonder what they're talking about. And maybe if I get some random chance to ask Steve Kerr, I'll ask him. But I doubt I'll really have that moment unless he happens to be like talking to nobody outside the locker room. Speaking of that locker room, is I'm still on that quest to find out what's in the box. In other words, Steph's 4 boxes that he brings on the plane every single time. So that's another thing that I'll try to do tonight. Other than that, they played Nipsey Hussle really loud. It messed up the interviews. So again, sorry for the audio on that. Inevitably, we'll get some comment from some smartass thinking that some entitled guy on social media thinking that I get paid some kind of a salary for this. I don't. It's just the love. I'm doing this thing right here to gain the Twitch notoriety, to gain Twitch affiliate status. So I hope that you can spread the word and get that info out. One last thing. I'm going to do a little segment hopefully when I have time, probably tomorrow when they have the day off. But then again, they might have Steve Kerr and 1 player. So anytime they have something like that, it just backs me up a whole lot. In fact, my whole Patreon giveaway is backed up again because I literally got to go back, take shower, change, come right back to the arena. It's just nuts. And it's already nuts outside. The Jurassic Park line is already just overflow. And so it's going to be a hurry. And also I don't really have, I lost my train of thought there. But for tomorrow, hopefully I will be able to tell you about my little adventure in Toronto last night. I had a rental car, as some of you know. I drove from Buffalo because it was cheaper than a direct flight to Toronto, and I decided to take advantage of my wheels and go to some 24-hour spots. And it turns out I only went to 1, and it wasn't all that glamorous, but I did manage to just drive through various interesting neighborhoods in Toronto, and I have video of that. So we're now approaching 10 minutes on this clip, and I think I'll wrap it up and leave you with awesome shot of wristbands lighting up. All right, thanks guys. Man, tonight, no predictions from me, man. It's too small a sample size, meaning zero sample size for this lineup versus that lineup. I'm not going to make any predictions for game one, but I will say that Toronto has had a lot of good feels lately, and I feel the basketball gods are smiling on them, but hopefully the fact that I booked game 5 flights and almost rental car from Buffalo again, that will tip the scales, I hope, and make the basketball gods happy. And so last time I did that, I predicted that the Warriors would lose a game against Portland and that Damion would go off for 50 or CJ would, and it never happened. So you see how it works, basketball gods. So I'm not saying I want to sweep or anything. I mean, it would be nice because I can cancel my flights, save some money. But at the other end of the spectrum, on the other hand, Toronto has been just incredible. I love Toronto. Toronto's like a cheaper New York, man. It has everything, and like an affordable New York. So I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. Check out the scenery. Let me flip these over. Obligatory proof that I'm filming on YouTube here. Obligatory proof that I just live streamed on Twitch. See you tonight. It's coming up soon. End stream.